Tonight, we are going to get into the Sheila Ford Hamp statement that was just released. I'm going to go ahead and have it put up on the screen here, and I'm going to read it so you can also see it and hear me. There's 2 slides, and then I'm going to talk about it because I think we need to unpack this a little bit. So it says, I want to start by thanking you for your commitment to our team and the support you show throughout the season. I am always blown away by the energy you create inside Ford Field and the advantage you give our team every time we run out of the tunnel. I also want to acknowledge that our results on the field this season were not what any of us envisioned, and frankly, were not good enough. While we do not believe it is a time for drastic change, this is an opportunity for us to refocus, evolve, and move forward. I am proud of the roster we have built and the 36 wins we have accumulated over the last 3 seasons. That success doesn't happen by accident, but it also does not guarantee future success. It is incumbent upon us to continue growing toward our ultimate goal of bringing a championship to all of you and the city of Detroit. I can assure you that we are committed to looking at everything we do to ensure we are performing at the highest level. Through conversations with Rod, Brad, and Dan, we are all aligned with this thinking and have already started meetings to address how we move forward. We are excited for what 2026 will bring and some of the new elements we will introduce for all of you, our most loyal fans. Thank you again for your commitment. Go Lions. There are some elements to this that I have a little bit of an issue with. And there are some elements to this that I think are fine. And some other local media is taking an issue with some of the elements that I think are fine, frankly. Anybody's opinion on this is perfectly fine. I mean, it's your opinion, it's what you think. I think that it was pleasant of her to issue the statement. I mean, we're all well aware that this season for the Detroit Lions was a disappointment. I mean, a big one, frankly. I mean, they were, 9-8, you're talking Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, and even the Panthers made the playoffs. I mean, those are kind of the records that you're in that circle. In a way, at 9-8, I mean, to be where they had been and to take this big of a step backwards, it's incredibly disappointing as Lion fans. And frankly, Lions, we're the ones taking it on the chin. I mean, ticket prices, concession prices. I mean, it was more expensive in 2025 to support this team than it's ever been in the history of the Detroit Lions. And fans still come out full force. And I think that's, I mean, that's just who Lions fans are. I mean, that's the way that Michigan is. And I'm not talking about you, Mich. I mean, Michigan in general. I mean, you've got Michigan State fans, you've got Michigan football. I mean, you've got the Lions, who everybody comes together on Sunday for, whether you're green and white or you're maize and blue. Like, it is a football state. And the Lions have historically sucked. They have not done well. We all know that. They've never been to a Super Bowl. They've never even won one. They've never won a Super Bowl. Never even been. Stadiums sell out every season. Packed. People love it. So it's not that, they just got good and we're all coming out. We've been coming out. We've been doing this. We've been supporting this team. And so she goes on to say that, the results were not what everybody envisioned. No, they were not. But it's interesting that she follows that up with saying, we don't believe it's a time for drastic change. I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean drastic change would be. If you're talking about, firing coaches like Dan Campbell, I mean, I guess maybe it wouldn't be time for that type of a change, but you do need an offensive coordinator. I mean, there needs to be a drastic change with the way offensive play calls go. I can tell you that right now. I mean, we've got great players, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams. These guys didn't even see the ball until the second half of the year. So there needs to be a drastic change right there, first of all. Second of all, there needs to be better depth. And I talked about this with the Aiden Hutchinson segment the other day, where he's talking about health was a key issue. It was. It was. We were not going to get this far into the season and go, well, our players are hurt, so I guess we can't play football. I mean, no, man. I mean, there does need, if you finish a season just above 500, yeah, there needs to be drastic change. I think what she's saying is, well, let's not get crazy and all that. We're not going to clean house. And if that's what she's saying, I think I get that. But there's other teams that were in a similar position with great coaches, like the Ravens, great players, John Harbaugh. They fired him. There were a whole slew of teams that just missed expectations this year that started firing people. I mean, I talked about this the other day in the NFL coaching carousel segment. And maybe I'm not advocating that they should fire Dan Campbell, but maybe he should stop going for it on fourth down when 3 points are, available. Maybe that would be a drastic change that we could see next season. Because there was a couple games, and you mark my words, or we're going to get the highlights and start putting them up on the screen, where if they would have kicked the field goal, they would have won the game. And now we're talking playoffs. And now we're talking all these conversations don't even need to be had. I could save my breath. She doesn't have to need to put out a statement. It's all, the whole situation is different if you'd have taken a couple field goals. So maybe that should be a drastic change. She then goes on to talk about she's proud of the roster they've built and the 36 wins they've accumulated over the last 3 seasons. I'm okay with that. I know some people don't like that she said that. I, too, am proud of the roster that they've built. It's certainly changed the culture. There's no doubt about that. I know that people, constantly compare the Goff and the Stafford trade, and then the Rams got a Super Bowl, and they may be getting another one here shortly. But without that trade, guys, Detroit wouldn't have been able to turn things around. It was a culture thing. They got Goff. They got draft picks. Those Rams picks, they were able to pick players. I mean, they were really able to get guys that turned this thing around. And so I am proud of that too. And I am proud of the 36 wins that they've accumulated. It has changed things. I know some people didn't like that. Some people said, well, you haven't won a playoff game, so who cares? I get it. I'm not, hard to argue that. But they have been a contender. And it's good to see that finally. It's good to see ESPN ranking them higher, people talking about them. All of a sudden the Lions matter. Like I said, Michigan is a football state. People want to come out for the Lions. It's important. So I'm fine that she said that. I'm cool with that. I think that we do need to remember that. I don't want to be ungrateful. We should be grateful. We could be the Jets. We could be other franchises that just can never, ever, the Browns, that just cannot get away from this stuff. And there has been improvement. We all want a Super Bowl. We all want playoffs. I mean, of course, obviously. And maybe she said that just for that reason. Maybe she said that as a reminder. Like, hey, it's almost 40 wins in 3 years. Like, we're trying. And she is trying. I can't blame her for that. I mean, she got Matt Patricia out of there. That was some of the darkest times in Lions history. And they turned it around. So I'm fine with that part of the statement. She then goes on to say that, she's committed to performing at the highest level, blah, blah, blah. We all get that. And, says that she's having conversations with Rod, Brad, and Dan, and they've already started meetings to address how they're going to move forward. I'm assuming that means some of the interviews. They've been interviewing everybody. They've been actively interviewing everybody. I think that offensive coordinator position for the Detroit Lions is a coveted job, probably one of the best open jobs in the NFL right now. I'm a little surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that she included Rod, but frankly, I really don't even know what Rod Wood does. I know that he's the president or whatever. He oversees business operations. I have no idea what kind of value he's going to bring to getting the wins up, right? I think that's more of a Brad and Dan thing. Maybe she felt a desire to include him. But whatever. And then she goes on to talk about some of the new elements that they're going to introduce to us, the most loyal fans. So, who knows what that might be? That could be new experiences at the stadium. That could be new merch, new fan packages. I mean, who knows? Who knows? And that they're excited for 2026. I think we're all excited for 2026. I think we're all want another shot at it. We all want to start over. We all want it again. I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense that, obviously there's still hope. There's still optimism. The window isn't closed. I know there was a lot of conversations as this season came to an end. Was the window closed? Was the Super Bowl window closed? And there were moments where it felt like it might have been. But now that the dust has settled a little bit, I don't think that it has. Because I've had some time to sit with this. I really don't think that it has. They do have a lot of good players. They do have some picks in the draft. They know what happened was unacceptable. If anything, I would say this might have been, we'll see how this turns out in time. But maybe this was the best thing to happen to them. Maybe this lights a fire. I mean, maybe they go close to getting it, and then this happens. And sometimes it's those bumps in the road in life, in business, and sports that you need to push you to the next level. So maybe this really fires things up over there, and maybe it's a good thing. Time will tell. Time will tell. So as far as Sheila's statement, I'm fine with everything that she said for the most part. And I think that she's well aware that fans aren't happy, and it's extremely disappointing. And I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be interesting and telling to see what they do over the next few weeks and who they get as offensive coordinator, because I think that's the biggest priority as we sit here today. We're going to keep an eye on it and cover any news that comes out of the Lions. Keep it locked.